We are 5 days away from the opening of the portal where you can submit your Canada H1B holder work permit, July 16th, and no instructions. What the heck is going on? In this video, I'm going to explain to you why that is the case. So by now, many of you are wondering what is going on. We know that on July the 16th, Canada is going to open up a one-time shot for you H1B visa holders in the United States to apply for a 3-year open work permit to come and work in Canada. Figure out if you like it and hopefully apply for permanent residence in ways that are just not going to be possible in the United States for many of you. But the question is, if it's supposed to launch on Sunday, yes, Sunday, July 16th, why in the heck have they not released the portal where you can actually submit your application? Well, I can tell you that this is not the first time that they have done this. In fact, and I've spoken about this in the past, Canada had a magical permanent resident program, a one-time shot called the TR to PR pathway. And this was permanent residence. It was open to about 90,000 people in different categories, but the one massive group of people were international graduates who didn't even need work experience necessarily in Canada, just that they were currently working, maybe just a little bit. And that mad race to file, it filled up in literally half a day, 40,000 spots. But here's the kicker. They did not even open up the section where you would, with the instructions on how to apply until the day before. So many people are asking, why do they do that? That doesn't make any sense. If they want 10,000 people to be ready and submit, why would they not forewarn them or give them some instructions on what to expect? Well, when I was the national chair of the Canadian Bar Association's immigration section during this time, and literally 2 years ago, I had a meeting with one of the head officials over these permanent resident programs. She's now moved on to different things, but she was the head and the designer and mastermind behind the program. Well, the big concern that they had was, you guys are kind of smart, tech savvy. And their concern was that someone would come up with some program, some software, some integration that would give them an unfair advantage over other people when it came to uploading the information into the online portal. And so they said, we didn't want to do that. So they wanted to give everybody a fair shot, a fair bad shot, by only providing the instructions the day before and then the actual portal going live that next day. So time, there's a lot of speculation. In the past, it's always been about noon Eastern time when they've launched these programs. And so I expect it's probably not going to be much different than that. Here in Alberta, it'll be 10 a.m. Mountain Time that we'll see this magical button appear on one of the websites, and that will be where you click to start submitting your application. But how in the heck are people going to prepare? Which portal is it going to be? Canada has so many different portals for filing applications that it's hard to know how to prepare. Is it going to be PDF forms? Is it going to be an online process? But here's the thing. If you read between the lines and if you pay close attention, there are a little bit of, how would you say? There's some nuggets of information that can help point us in the right direction so that if you're looking for the signs and reading between the lines, you can kind of figure out what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, and this is my little pro tip. I share it with my students who've subscribed to the DIY course, and we go through everything. Actually, last night I went through the portal that I think is going to likely be the one that they're going to use, and went through every section. We talked about what to put in it, how to answer it, even the documents. And so I've got a pretty good idea what I think it is. But even if we're wrong, the students in the course are going to be fully prepared to know everything that I know so that if they need to pivot quick, they'll be ready, including gathering the documents and everything that they may or may not need, but they're going to be ready. But because I'm a person who likes to share, I'm going to share with you guys why I think it is a certain portal versus a different portal. Let's slide over and let me tell you a little story. So Canada last year launched something called the Canada-Ukraine Emergency Authorization for Travel. This lovely little visa was granted to Ukraine nationals who were basically fleeing the war, the Russian war, the Russian invasion. And so what Canada did was they opened this work permit. It was really a visitor visa, and you could get a work permit if you wanted, but who wouldn't do it? Who wouldn't get a 3-year work permit? Sound familiar? And so this program ran almost, well, probably crossed over 1 million people now have gone through and applied for this. And if you scroll down here, I want to show you something here. This program is coming to an end on July 15th. When is this Canada H1B holder open work permit? When is it launching? The very next day, July 16th. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. So right off the bat, my first inclination is, and they've got, if there's 1 million people that have gone through and they stop accepting applications for that program July 15th, there's going to be a whole whack of immigration officers who need something to do. And what more sense does it make? And understand, this is my prediction. It's not a guarantee. But what better way to utilize those resources who already know how to use the portal for this program in terms of adjudicating applications rapidly? And why in the world would they not do this? So one other thing I want to point out, if I jump over here to, let's see if I can find the actual instructions. If we scroll down to the backgrounder that immigration released related to this program, you can see that they referred to it as a streamlined work permit for H1B. Okay. And this is another little telltale sign for me that this is probably not going to be the regular process how we submit work permits. Okay. Let's jump back and let's look at what I believe are the two options. So the Canada-Ukraine emergency authorization for travel. Let's see if I can find that page again. Oh, I got too many sections open here. There we go. So this one right here, when you follow the instructions and you go through the process of choosing how do I apply, it will take you eventually right here. And this is called the IRCC portal. So right here is where I believe that there's a good chance, a very good chance that immigration is going to have you register, go through and be prepared. So first thing I'd encourage everybody to do is sign up for this and go check it out. Now, this is used for usually study permits and visitor visas, but it was also used for the Canada-Ukraine emergency authorization for travel. So I'm going to point that out. All right. The other opportunity, the other option that people are saying, it's through the regular IRCC secure account or the GC key. Well, this process here is much more involved, and I would definitely not classify it as a streamlined work permit. The process through the GC key is a lot more cumbersome. And right now, the IRCC secure account is a freaking disaster. Think of it like a computer that has a hard drive that's 99% full. So are they going to want to have 10,000 people madly race to file through here in a portal that's constantly freezing, locking, kicking people out, and it's got huge problems that they're trying to move away from? Or will they use one that's already been tried and tested? And you can see here, when you actually log in the first time to this place, there's a little maintenance thing that says, I think today it's going to be going under for maintenance. Now, it doesn't show here, but this is where you actually log in. And so, yeah, so what are you going to use? Are you going to use one that's glitchy and falling apart, that's for robust full work permits, that's really locked in? And understand this one here, all those people who are talking about the PDF forms, this one is that's what uses the PDF forms for submitting applications. And by no means am I telling you not to prepare for this. It could very well be here. But for my students in my course, we went through and we're going through this one. We will go through this one tonight in detail. Every evening, 7 to 9, you virtually missed nothing within the process. If you haven't been able to attend at this stage or subscribe to join me. But we went through last night in detail this portal, and this sucker, my goodness, it's painful. It's one sequential series of questions and answers that you can't skip to sections. You have to go through sequentially, and it's going to take a boatload of time. So if indeed it is this, which I believe this is likely what it's going to be, then you need to start preparing right now. So like I said, I've got a DIY course that I created, and this really mirrors, I workshopped almost 500 people through the TR to PR pathway when it launched. And the cool thing about it is, if you look at immigration and you look at processing times, one of the things that they're indicating for processing times of these work permits, that it's going to be from 0 to 2 months. And why is it going to be 0? Because their officers, like I said, that I believe were processing Kuwait visas who now have time on their hands. So there's going to be no delay. You submit your application, it falls on an officer's plate because it's streamlined. Boom, boom, boom. And most officers have between 3 to 10 minutes to process an application. Heck, if you guys are prepared and they're adjudicating these applications, there's going to be very little for them to have to screen out because you're already in the US. You've already like a pre-approved perfect candidate for Canada. US has already done all the vetting. So they're going to have these applications adjudicated in days. The first people that come through that are prepared, that are ready, are going to be ahead of the game, are going to be able to avoid all of the problems and trip ups. Those folks are going to get their applications processed in literally days. So I want to share with you just briefly, for those of you who are not familiar with this, this is the course. And I've got a wonderful group of people that are in there every evening, 7 to 9 Mountain Time. I do it late because I know you guys are all working. This is where we gather together. We have a community group. We have a discussion forum. We share information. We share intel. And I answer 2 solid hours straight of questions that you have about the process. Now, the reality is right now, we still don't know. Is it going to be the IRCC portal? Is it going to be this IRCC secure account or the GC key? Or will it be something completely different? At this stage, all we know is that this program is going to launch, and I'm going to see if I can find the right page here. You can see this program is going to launch on July 16th, the Sunday. And so I'd encourage you guys to take Saturday, Sunday off. Obviously be ready because it's going to be a mad race to file. And you can watch some of the previous videos that I've done on these topics, but there's still time for you to connect in. In the description below is a link to subscribe to the course, and we dive through everything. And no, I don't have all the answers. No, I don't know 100% what portal it's going to be, but that's my argument for why I think it's the one, the IRCC portal versus the IRCC secure account. And yeah, come join us and let me get you prepared. Take care, everybody.